What is an algo portfolio? An algo portfolio is a backtest of an investment strategy that is based on the systematic selection of stocks for a portfolio at regular intervals and according to various criteria, first and foremost fundamental criteria. In order to create an algo portfolio, I click the Algo button on the portfolio page and fill out the form for creating an algo portfolio. I enter a name for the portfolio and the amount of available assets. We then select the direction, a long or short position that we will use for the stocks we select. We also have to choose the interface type. Basic interface implies step-by-step setup of the algorithm, while advanced gives you all of the options on one page. After everything has been selected, click Create Portfolio. We are now at the first step toward creating an algo portfolio. We have to choose a region, universe, and sector that the stocks will be selected from. The default universe setting is Large Cap 500, but I can select Large and Mid Cap 1000, for example. Then I select Turnover greater than 0 and choose the sector. I can opt for only the sectors I'm interested in. I unselect all sectors and choose only the ones I want. For example, biotech communication, 2 consumer sectors, healthcare, industrial and information technology. We are now finished with this step and click Next Step to move on. Since an algo portfolio is a backtest of an investment strategy, we have to determine the time frame for the backtest. We do this in Step 2. Suppose I want to conduct a backtest from 1/1/2008 to 12/31/2014. Furthermore, an algo portfolio is a backtest of a strategy based on the systematic selection of stocks for a portfolio. This is why it is important to set the rebalancing frequency for a portfolio. Rebalancing can take place once a year, once every 6 months, once every quarter, or once a month. I am going to go for rebalancing every quarter. We are now done with this step and are going to click Next Step to move on. We are now at the most important part, setting the filters. I can apply filters for various types of data, both actual and estimates, as well as for technical indicators. I will try to create a selection strategy for undervalued stocks with high dividends, which make low capital investments and have low debt. Let's start by searching for undervalued companies. In the first filter, I put a limit on estimate FCF yield. In Portfolioand.Me, each preset indicator has a rating that gives you an idea of how useful the indicator is when it comes to selecting the best performing stocks. The estimate FCF yield indicator has the highest rating, 5. Moreover, if I don't know what a particular indicator is, I can look at the detailed description by clicking More Info. It takes me to a page where I can read through the full description and look at the probability distribution function for this indicator. Let's go back to the algo portfolio. So, I want to select companies that have estimate FCF yield greater than or equal to 5%. Then, I want to select companies that pay good dividends. To do this, I set estimate dividend yield to greater than or equal to 3%. Next, let's select companies that make low capital investments. In order to do this, I set the estimate CAPEX divided by sales filter to less than or equal to 0.05. Moreover, I want to select companies with low debt, but I want to select these companies from those that already made it through the previous filters. I select the estimate net debt divided by EBITDA bottom 10 filter. But I need to set a lower filter's priority to apply this filter only to those companies that made it through the previous filters. I set the filters I want and can move on to the next final step. In this last step, I will hedge my portfolio. I can do this in order to lower the systematic risk for the portfolio. I can choose either the sector hedge or the SPY ETF, which reflects changes in the S&P 500 index. I also need to select the multiplier. This is the proportion of position in hedge in relative to the position in chosen stocks. I can set a fixed multiplier. The default setting is 1, for example. But I can also use a beta multiplier, which is recalculated every time the portfolio is rebalanced with hedge instrument as a benchmark. I am going to use the beta. I have gone through all the steps and can now click Run Portfolio. I get my result. I can see the chart that shows the change in the value of my portfolio, as well as key statistics from my portfolio. Moreover, I can see the portfolio holdings on any given date, as well as the profitability of each stock in the portfolio. If I am interested in a particular security, I can flip to the page with a description of it. Here, I will also see the price chart, key information, as well as key fundamental indicators for the company. Let's go back to the Algoportfolio. Aside from this, I can see the sectoral breakdown of my portfolio for each rebalancing date. And finally, I can compare my portfolio with a benchmark, Large Cap 500, for example. You can also download all Algoportfolio results to Excel with the help of the Export button.